His new documentary may make you rethink what you thought about weed. Listen.
People are lighting up all over the country. They call it the green rush. Marijuana has moved out of the back alleys and into the open.
Happy Cannabis Cup, y'all.
In some states, it's legal to grow, to sell, to smoke. And marijuana could be legalized in a city near you. So easy to get, and many think so harmless. But when the smoke clears, is marijuana bad for you? Or could pot actually be good for you?
Well, the answer to that question was not at all what Sanjay expected. Earlier, I asked Sanjay what changed his mind.
I've been critical of medical marijuana over the years, and I've been reporting on this for a long time, and I've been pretty critical of it, written magazine articles and other things. When you look at the medical literature, there's some 20,000 papers that'll pop up, Victor, on medical marijuana. The vast majority of them, greater than 90% of them, are designed to look at harm, the problems, the perils of marijuana, and about 6% or so to look at the benefits. That's what I found. And that paints a pretty distorted picture. That was a distorted picture, I realize now in retrospect. It took for me getting literally out of the country, looking at labs in other countries that are doing some remarkable research, and also talking to a lot of patients. I mean, legitimate patients with legitimate problems. I probably too easily dismissed them as just being malingerers who were trying to get high. And when you come to find out these are legitimate patients for whom marijuana works and nothing else did, all of a sudden, the attitudes start to change, because then it becomes a question of responsibility. We got to, providing actual care for people.
And you say we were systematically misled.
I think we have been. In this country, up until 1943, marijuana was on the pharmacopoeia, which is what doctors use to prescribe medicines. For the last 70 years, it's been progressively sort of demonized, thought of differently, made a Schedule I drug, which puts it in the same category as the most dangerous substances in the country. And I think that, there was a lot of things going on in the late 30s and early 40s that may have led to that. But I think the end product, to your question, is that we simply haven't gotten accurate information about this. There's real science here, and that needs to be injected into this conversation.
So a lot of the documentary is about medical marijuana, but what about recreational use?
For me, I draw a distinction between these things. I really did focus on medical marijuana. And recognizing that it's a real medicine that can do things other medicines don't. When it comes to recreational, I think, look, I have kids. I think about the detrimental impact on young people's brains. Up till age 25, our brains are still developing, so I would talk about that age range. But overall, I think that this is one of those things where it's a medicine, and while there is a concern about people abusing this, the trade-off shouldn't be to deny people medical care. I don't want my kids or other people using this, and possibly harming their brains, but I don't think that should mean we should withhold it as a medicine.
So after what you've learned and what a lot of doctors and professionals have learned, is there any political appetite to reschedule marijuana?
It's a great question, and it's probably the question, because Schedule I means we consider this a drug of high abuse potential and no medical applications. And those things simply aren't true. There wasn't science at that time in 1970 to say it was true, and there is science now to probably say that it isn't true. So I think rescheduling is something that really should be on the table, but your question is about the appetite for that. There is an appetite among some people, but probably not among the people who can actually do this, to reschedule it. I haven't heard that. We've asked those questions, and I just don't think we're there yet.
All right. Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Good to see you. Nice to see you. Thanks.